Hi guys, get out your reading books. We are going to do our reading lesson for today. We are in our literature anthology, so you need to take out that big reading book, not the writing workshop book. Your big, thick reading literature anthology book, and open up to page 258. We are going to read an expository text. We've been talking about them this week. So take out page 258. And we are going to read Big Ideas from Nature. I'm going to give you a minute to take that out. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to read this story together, and you will see lots of different photographs. You will see diagrams. You will see information, because that is what an expository text provides. So let's read this today. Big Ideas from Nature by Adrienne Mason. Our essential question is, what ideas can we get from nature? And remember, during the beginning of the week, we learned about bats, right? And how bats get information and how they give out sound waves. And then that inspired an invention because of what bats do. So things that happen in nature inspire inventors, and then they replicate those cool, amazing things because our God is an amazing God and an amazing creator. And then we have new technology or new inventions that help us in our world today. All right, so let's think about that as we read. What ideas can we get from nature? Read how ideas from nature inspired new inventions. Sometimes a sticky situation can lead to a great invention. In the 1940s, George de Menstrel went for a walk with his dog. Along the way, George's pants and his dog's fur caught tiny seeds called burrs. George was curious. Why did the burrs stick so well? He looked closer. The burrs were covered in tiny hooks. George used this idea to invent a two-sided fastener. It had hooks on one side and loops on the other. Today, these hooks and loop fasteners are used on everything from shoes to spacesuits. Inspiration, idea. Observing how burrs stick to cloth and fur inspired one inventor to create a new fastener. So you see the hooks and the fasteners. And it kind of reminds me of Velcro, right guys? Those sticky burrs gave de Menstrel a great idea. Nature provided a model that George could imitate. I see lots of vocabulary words, boys and girls. Do you? Copying or imitating designs from nature is called biomimicry. You guys say that? Biomimicry. Bio means life, and mimicry means to copy. From owls' sharp claws to elephants' bendy noses, nature is full of models. We can learn from each one. All right. So we are going to be reading about how nature has inspired these new inventions. And I want you boys and girls to see if you can predict how this selection will help you to answer that essential question, what ideas can we get from nature? All right, turn the page. So now we're at the top of page 260 and we see a ginormous eagle. Observing nature gives us ideas for new things. George de Menstrel didn't set out on his walk thinking he would create a new fastener, but by being curious and observant, he did just that. Nature did it first. Designers often start with a problem. They may look for solutions in the natural world. Nature has been making and testing designs for a long time. Nature often has the answers to questions people ask. More than 100 years ago, the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, wondered how to fly. For an answer, they watched birds. The flying experts, watching birds' wings, gave them ideas on how to design airplane wings. While bird wings are not identical to plane wings, they both can fly. The Wright brothers built an airplane in 1903. It was the first to lift up, and away. Okay, so we are seeing all these different examples. Now we see a fish. Smart shapes. Fish and cars share a problem. It takes energy to move a fish through water and a car through air. Fish get energy from food. Cars get it from fuel. To create a new fuel-saving car, designers studied the shape of fish. They found that the box fish's square shape was streamlined. This means that the fish slips through the water without wasting energy. By making the new car's shape similar to that of the boxfish, they created a car that saves gas. The car's frame is also similar to the fish's skeleton. The metal frame is thick in some places and thinner in others. Just like the fish's bones, this saves on materials and puts strength where it is needed most. Turn the page. Energy savers. Air conditioners keep building cool. The shape of a building can also help. In Africa, termites gave builders an example of a self-cooling structure. Holes at the bottom of termite mounds catch the wind. The air rises through tunnels and flows out the top. The termite designed an effective way to cool a structure. The builders borrowed their ideas. During the day, fans on the first floor blow cool air into the building. The air rises and flows through the chimneys on the roof. This design saves money and energy. Master movers. Uh-oh, is that a grasshopper? You can't travel to Mars, but a robot can. Robots can explore places that are not safe for people. Robots can't walk, but they still have to travel over dips and bumps. Sometimes they get stuck. Designers are working on a robot called JoelBot to fix the problem. The name JoelBot comes from the words jump and roll. The JoelBot can do both. The super spring of a grasshopper legs gave designers their ideas. This is so cool, so cool. Tunnel makers. You ready? More than 200 years ago, we're on page 264, an engineer was trying to drill a tunnel under a river, but each attempt failed. The walls kept falling in. Then he saw how shipworms bored through wood. The animal uses a tough shield to drill. Then it builds a hard tube along the tunnel walls. What a great idea! The engineer copied the shipworm to build the Thames Tunnel. As he drilled, workers lined the tunnel walls with bricks. Guys, how cool is it that inventors have these amazing minds and they just see the creation of God, of what he has created in the world, and then they use those ideas to make life easier for us. It's just amazing. Page 265, mixing new materials. Tiny hairs on a gecko's foot help it climb walls. It can cling to ceilings too. Scientists studied gecko feet to create a bandage with bumps. The bandage is so sticky it can even attach wet surfaces like a human heart. So we're going to stop and think right now. Summarize. What did you learn from reading the selection called Mixing New Materials? Tell what the selection is about. Sticky gecko feet gave doctors an idea for a super sticky bandage. Okay, turn the page. Page 266, working together. Birds fly in flocks. Fish swim in schools. They do this without hitting one another. Cars move in large groups too, but they crash. Today, car designers are learning from locusts. They study how the insects travel together safely. One day, you might drive a car that sees cars around. Why are car designers studying locusts? Because we want to limit the amount of crashes. Crashes kill people. So inventors are now looking to see how locusts travel, and maybe cars can have something similar so that we can prevent crashes. Learning from experts. Biomimicry shows that ideas that work from nature can work for people too. It makes sense. Need a material that is strong and stretchy? Learning about spider silk would be a good place to begin. Spider silk is one of the strongest fibers in nature. It is as flexible as an elastic band and strong like steel. Need a type of glue that will harden in salt water? What do the sea creatures, barnacles, and mussels use to stick to rocks? Maybe nature already has a plan or a recipe people can use. Observing how nature works also shows us ways to help the planet. Nature does not waste materials or energy, and natural designs do not pollute the air or water. Learning new things while protecting Earth's resources, that's an idea worth copying. Okay, so boys and girls, you can finish up by reading about the author, and then I included in your packet a reading workbook page. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but I'll include it in the email. But it is all about having a main idea and then having supporting details. So Mrs. McInerney is going to give you one of the main idea sentences, and I need you to go back to the text to prove to me that you're an excellent reader, right? And you're going to find supporting details. So write this down on this page. It's in your packet. I know it's not 131 because that was vocab, and I don't believe it was 137 or 136. It's another page. You know what? It might be page 132. If you look on that page at the top, I want you to write this down for main idea. Nature helps us create new things. That's the sentence that I'm giving you. And I want you to find 3 supporting details from the text. Any 3, okay? So that is your assignment for today. The main idea sentence is this. Write this down. Nature helps us create new things. And then you, boys and girls, are going to come up with 3 supporting details. So go back in your text to find supporting details for that sentence. Have a good one. I'm going to go and create your math video now.